Miami. How's everyone doing out there? My name is Grace Meatley. I was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and moved to the United States when I was 10 years old. I came to South Florida in 1989, and I'm proud to have been serving this community as a nurse for more than 2 decades. I became a nurse because I wanted to help people and to make a difference. I love my job, I love my coworkers, and I love this community. But when COVID-19 hit South Florida, it hit us really hard. Miami became an epicenter for this virus, and it was very difficult for our patients, but it was also very difficult and hard for my colleagues and fellow healthcare workers. It was stressful. We had to wear PPE for over 12 hours a day. And many of us worried that we were putting our loved ones at risk. I care for my elderly mother, and it became very hard here in South Florida. I went for 3 months without seeing my mother because I was afraid that I would get COVID and somehow get her infected. And if Joe Biden becomes president, I won't have to worry about that any longer. Joe will set the right example of president. He will follow the science, and he will implement a national plan to get this virus under control. Woo! Working in healthcare, I've seen firsthand how real leadership can make a difference in the lives of people. After the Affordable Care Act became law, it was like night and day for so many of the families that come to our hospital. I don't think the choice in this election could be any clearer. We have seen Joe Biden's record on health care. We have seen him handle crisis after crisis. Compare that to the man in the White House right now, who has absolutely failed our community by every metric. We have to get out and vote, South Florida. If you have a vote by mail ballot, I need you to drop it off. If you're voting on election day, make a plan. Where is your polling location? And where are you voting? And how will you get there? And who will you bring with you? We have a chance to change the direction of this country on every issue that matters to us. The power is in our vote. And no one has shown us that more than our next speaker. Obamacare has saved lives, maybe more here in Miami than anywhere else. Miami, let's give a big South Florida welcome to the man who gave us hope and has the three-pointer and is going to help deliver Florida for Joe and Kamala, the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Can everybody please give Grace a big round of applause? That was fantastic. Let me tell you, I love nurses. You know, hey, you. You know, I think we've all had the experience when a loved one's gotten sick. I remember when Sasha was like 4 months old, and she suddenly had a temperature, and she was crying, and it was midnight. We called the pediatrician. He said, look, get her to the emergency room, and it turned out that she had meningitis, which for little babies is really tough. And, you know, we saw doctors, and I was, starting to tear up because my baby, I didn't know what was going on. It was the nurses who kept Michelle and I steady, who cared after Sasha, who looked after them. And every time I meet a healthcare worker, I am grateful because every single one of us rely on them at some point in our lives. And it's because of their sacrifices and hard work that our families can rest. Hello. Is that working? All right. That's a sign that you guys need to give Grace a big round of applause. I love you too. Miami, that's why I came back. I was here just a few days ago, but then I realized there's still some folks who need to vote. So I've got one word for you. Tomorrow. After 4 years of failure and division, we have the power to change America. Tomorrow you can put an end to the politics that tries to pull us apart just to win an election, and that tries to peddle conspiracy theories and fear, when what we need is competence and hope. Tomorrow, in the most important election of our lifetimes, and I've been involved in some pretty important elections like mine, but this one's more important. And tomorrow, right here in South Florida, you can deliver the change that we need. But it's going to take every single one of us. As Grace said, if you haven't dropped off your ballot yet, don't wait anymore. Drop it off. If you voted already, then you need to get your friends and family to the polls. And if you need to find out where, you can go to iwillvote.com. Help them to make a plan to vote. Florida, you delivered for me twice. And now I'm asking you to deliver for all of us and elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as the next president and vice president of the United States of America. Now listen, I got to campaign with Joe over the weekend. It felt like the old days. And I can't wait to see him back in the White House, because for 8 years, he was the last person who left the room whenever I faced a big decision, and he made me a better president. He has the character and the experience to make us a better country. And he and Kamala are going to be in the fight, not for themselves, but for every single one of us. We can't say that about the president right now. I never thought that Donald Trump would share my vision or embrace all of my policies, but I hoped, for the sake of the country, that he might take the job seriously, that he put in the work. But he hasn't. He hasn't shown any interest in taking seriously the work that is involved in being president, or helping anybody but his friends or himself, or treating the presidency as anything more than a reality show that he can use to get himself attention. And the rest of us have to live with the consequences. And Grace talked about those consequences. 230,000 Americans dead. More than 100,000 small businesses closed. 500,000 jobs gone here in Florida. And he's admitting what we knew all along. We're not going to control the pandemic. That's a quote. We noticed